Hey guys, I'm back with my product focus for Fridays for the month of July. And just a recap, we are doing Vicki Boutin and tools this month. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there will be a link. I'll have a link at the end of the video that you can click on that'll lead to the intro to this series that I started for this month. But basically, I kind of broke down all my supplies by kind of a category. I have like 5 different categories, and then I also broke it down by all the different designers / collections I have. So at the beginning of the month, I drew out Vicki Boutin for working with her all month for this, and then the category we picked was tools. Last month I did punches, and I specifically used only my border punches, so we put the punches back in the drawing. And this week we're doing this So Easy tool. I'm gonna use this sketch. I saw it posted during Freeze Friday. It was a new page map sketch, which I liked a lot, and I like that there's the element of doodling or stitching around the grid, and I thought it was the perfect way to like frame this adorable picture of my son. This was on his 6th birthday last year. We stopped at this place called Bubble Waffles, and it was amazing. They made these amazing ice cream sundaes with these bubble waffles around them, and they were just elaborate, and they were so good. So I'm going to do this page, and we're going to do some So Easy stitching around, and I might even do a little bit around each item, and then maybe around my photo as well. I'm just trying to figure out what, but just to show you a little about the So Easy, if you don't know what it is, and if you end up liking it as I'm using it, you can maybe go try and find it. Like I said, I don't know if it's still being made, but it's by WeRMemory Keepers. So it comes with, it's this fun little thing. Oh, it's just right. It does come with a needle. It's this fun little tool that as you rotate this over, and I even had the piercing mat from it, it pokes holes, and then you can stitch these patterns. Now let's see, is this the one? And some of them, then they came with these cardboard things so they could show you the different stitches you can create with one. This one I did not, I do not have the cardboard part that still came with it, but it just, you rotate it to pull it out, and then you can swap it out. So for example, this green one, yep, this is the one. The 2 options they show you is you can do this cute, like a cute scallop, or you could just do like this jaggedy, it almost kind of looks like waves, and then they're like, add brads. So it pokes all the holes for you, and then you just gotta stitch it. And actually, I might do the scallop one. I'm gonna do primarily black thread, just because there's not a ton of color in this picture, but this collection has a lot of color, and so, and just to kind of bring out him because he's wearing black, that way it all kind of draw, and black's a good grounding, like good grounding, so I'm gonna do black. But then I kind of like the idea of this stitch, so I might do that one. Is that this one? Yeah, and I kind of want to try it out. It looks kind of cool. So we might do a little bit of that stitch, trying to figure out what I want to do around, and then we might do like a scallop one around the photo or something, but I might just do a bunch of hand stitching. So I will cut a ton of that out, but I'll show you a little intro to maybe each stitch, so you know what it looks like, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna try and figure out what I wanna do here, and then pick out my pattern papers, and then we're gonna start stitching. Let's get started. So first thing I did is I kind of looked through all the little stitching heads I had, and I picked out which ones I would maybe want to use. So I did the yellow one, which was kind of a, oh yeah, like a diamond shape pattern, and then it also had like a zigzag or like a hash mark pattern on it, and then the scallop pattern, and then just the straight edge one, and then the crazy purple one. So I ended up stitching a lot. So this took me a few days, and I'm gonna apologize right now. I'm not sure if you really care or if it would have been super boring. I feel like it would have been super boring, but I do not show you me stitching the entire time. And actually, after recording little tidbits of the first 2 rectangles, I got bored with like going back to my scrap room to like record showing you it, and I stopped because I figured after the first 2 you got the gist. So basically, with some pressure, you just slowly roll wherever you're going to stitch. And then what's really nice is it evenly punctures holes. Because you could do this by hand too, but it is nice. It doesn't, and you have to make sure you apply enough pressure. It doesn't puncture all the way through all of them necessarily every time. It's definitely like you get the hang of it. But so then I just took some of the embroidery floss. It's a 6 strand, so I split it up to 3. And I started stitching. And now if you look really closely at my page, you're going to see all the spots where it got a little hairy and doesn't look as clean. Just getting started or trying to figure out the best route. The one thing about the cardboard little templates that show you what kinds of stitches you can create, it doesn't tell you which direction to go, like do a back stitch or forward or just a regular straight stitch or what. So you just kind of try and figure it out. And the most complicated one I did was the purple one, the purple head that I do actually all the way around the little grid. And that one was definitely a learning curve, to say the least, on trying to figure out what the little diagram on the cardboard, it kind of showed you how to do it, but not very well. There was kind of a learning curve on trying to figure it out. But so I did, after I made this layout, I did actually go Google and search on Amazon, and you can still pick this up on Amazon. And I really think actually scrapbook.com or a Cherry on Top possibly still have some of these items. So like I said, I don't know if WeRMemory Creatures is actually still making it, but I know it's out there. I know there's stuff out there. So I like it. I definitely think I got my use out of it. I know it's in my stash now and kind of revitalized it in my mind. I don't mind it. I just don't know how often I'm going to use it. So here I'm showing you that I did those 2 rectangles, and then I'm going to start puncturing the holes for the last one. And then I'm not going to show you anymore until it's all done. All the stitching's done. So I went around the 4 rectangles. I went around all 4, and then I did this just a regular straight stitch around which actually ends up being a back stitch, around my photo. So I was just relining up those rectangles a little bit, and now we're going to embellish and kind of play. So I had cut out this speech bubble from a cut file a few months ago when I was making a layout, and it was kind of like the negative. So I'm going to use that. And now I think I've used up all of those 2 that were just kind of hanging out in the collection. I think I did. And I'm using a lot of the stickers from the Let's Wander collection. I don't use as much from Wildflowers and Honey on this layout. But what's so fun is the Let's Wander had all these ice cream stickers and ephemera, and so I'm finally getting to use some of them. I'm definitely not someone, like, I love how Crystal from Pineapple Papers she can explain to you why she uses a random element, and it actually makes sense. And sometimes it's the most obscure reason, but it totally makes sense, and I love her explanations for using random items. I have done it on occasion. It's hard for me, especially like ice cream specific, like I guess if it's a summer photo or if like something like that, but just random photo that has nothing to do with summer. I don't know if I could just put ice cream, except for I love ice cream. I could totally do a whole album and hide like an ice cream cone on every page, and that would totally be my thing, but nah, I know. So just making some of the ephemera work for me. That star was actually like a tag, like a gift tag. So it like opened and closed. And this collection came with a bunch of it, the Let's Wander, and I don't really get the point of those. I guess it's gearing towards people who want to make gift tags or use them as gift tags, but I made it work for me and I cut it apart. So I kind of went with the star element. So I grabbed all the little star stickers off the sticker sheet, popped my photo up on some fun foam, and yeah, just kind of repeated some of the elements that were in the sketch. I really liked the on the menu that I was able to stick under the photo, and then I journal there about what we ate and why we stopped there. Just a lot of fun. And my title is really tiny, simple. It's just that chipboard that says yes, please, and that's it. So thanks for watching. Here I'm going to come live again, and we'll see you next week. All right, so that is the layout using the Sew Easy. I had a little problems with some of the stitches. This is when I started. I wasn't quite familiar with trying to figure out how to do it. But I mean, it's a really good tool to have to try and poke consistent holes evenly throughout wherever you want to do some stitching. So got a lot of stitching on this page, which is really cool. So let's draw what we're gonna do for next week. So I still have got my Vicki Boutin right here and my tools, and I'm gonna throw this one away because I think I used this Sew Easy enough that it's earned its place to stay. All right, so let's draw. Let's see, now next Friday, is that gonna be the last weekend of the month? I don't think so, not quite, it might be. I'll get that when we get there. All right, let's do the fringe scissors. So we're going to use the fringe scissors next week with Vicki Boutin. So if you want to play along, make sure, use some Vicki Boutin and use some fringe scissors and get to work. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week with the fringe scissors. Bye!